America is an idea that has not happened yet. America is not a finished fact, but it might if enough of us decide to make it real. You see, that sentence matters, especially right now, because many young people have been told that America is either perfect or beyond criticism, or broken beyond repair. Both are lies. The truth is harder and more hopeful. From the beginning, America has lived inside a contradiction. The Declaration of Independence declared that all men are created equal, endowed with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words were revolutionary, and they were lies when they were written. They excluded enslaved people, they excluded women, they excluded indigenous people, they excluded anyone who was not a white male property owner. So when we talk about America losing its way, we must be honest. The nation did not fall from perfection. It began unfinished. But here is the part of history classes sometimes we rush by. We rush past the words themselves were powerful. Because once written, they could be used as a weapon against the system that betrayed them. Every major expansion of freedom in this country came from people who took America's own promises seriously, even when America did not. Abolitionists, suffragists, labor organizers, civil rights activists, immigrants, veterans who came home from wars. Why? Democracy worked everywhere but their own neighborhoods. That struggle defines America as it was. That struggle defines America as it is. And that struggle defines America as it could be. To understand why the struggle matters, we have to talk about propaganda, how it shapes belief, identity, and fear. Propaganda is not just posters and speeches. It's repetition. It's education without questioning. It's authority telling you this is just how the world works. Empires have always needed propaganda to justify domination. And one of the most persistent lies exported around the world has been the myth of black inferiority. Black people were described as savages, uneducated, incapable of culture, incapable of refinement, incapable of leadership. Violence was framed as our nature. Humanity was framed as conditional. These lies were not just taught in America. They were exported globally through colonialism, through media, through war. During World War II, Japanese military propaganda described American soldiers, especially black, as demons, subhuman brutes who tortured prisoners without mercy. That propaganda did its job. In the New Mexico desert, 37 Japanese women prisoners sat inside a converted warehouse, terrified. They had surrendered weeks earlier. They believed punishment was inevitable. They believed death might be kinder. And when the door opened, a black man was standing there. And he walked toward them, but he didn't walk toward them with a weapon. He was carrying a trumpet. Nothing in their education prepared them for what followed. He spoke to them in Japanese, not perfectly, but respectfully. He told them he was not there to hurt them. Oh, but then he played. What filled that warehouse was not propaganda. It was evidence. Music that required discipline, creativity, intelligence, and mastery. Art that contradicted everything they had been taught. Humanity so undeniable it cracked belief open. The next morning, the same soldiers cooked breakfast, not rations, not punishment food, bacon, eggs, coffee, plate, silverware, and most of all, dignity. For women who had been taught America were monsters and black Americans were less than human, this generosity was overwhelming. Many cried, not from fear, but from abundance, from kindness, from the realization that the world they had thought to believe in was collapsing. That moment didn't just shatter Japanese propaganda, it shattered American lives too. Because those black soldiers were serving a country that did not fully recognize their humanity. A military that was still segregated, and up to a point it still is. A democracy that sent them abroad to defend freedom while denying it at home. So why serve such a country? One of them answered simply, I fight not for America as it is, but for America as it could be. That sentence holds the entire American experience to love those ideals, to resist the reality, to serve a nation that has not yet kept its promises while forcing it again and again to move closer to them. That is not hypocrisy. That is moral courage. And once again, the king, or men who think they can, want to send our children overseas to war. So, children, he says, go where I send thee. Oh, but how shall I send thee? I'm going to send thee one by one, because one was for the little baby born in Bethlehem. I'm going to send thee 2 by 2. 2 for Paul and Silas. 3 for the Hebrew children. 4 for the 4 that stood by the door, and 5 for the gospel preachers. 6 for the 6 that never got fixed, and 7 that never got to heaven, and 8 that stood by the gate. 9 for the 9 that drank that wine, and 10 for those commandments that you in. 11 still looking for heaven, and 12 for the ones that fell.